Hey, this is Flatlander Mike from Saskatchewan, Canada again, and it's been a while since I had a video. My computer broke, so I haven't been able to do any recording or anything, and editing. So anyway, I got a new computer, well, new to me. Today we're going to do some work on the side-by-side on the Enclosure. When I built it, I had plexiglass on the sides and back here. So plexiglass is only 10 times tougher than glass, and where you drill it, it does crack. So that's what happened was the front ones that cracked and the back ones cracked, and that's the little short wings on each side of the door. So I'll show you what happened was. This one here, I taped it up because I used it as a pattern. So it cracked right along where I drilled it. So anyway, so what I did was I kept this for a pattern. And also on the side when I cut it, it cracked a whole bunch of spots, so I put little drill marks in there to try and stop it. Looks like it kind of stopped. But anyway, so we're going to replace the back panels, and the problem, well, what I did was I actually did replace the front ones already, because when I put the steering in, I had to lift this whole area up the roll bar so I could gain access over there to where the power steering goes, and made it a lot easier. So I did replace the front panels already. So these are polycarbonate, and polycarbonate is very, very tough, 250 times stronger than glass. You can just smack it, you can drill it, it doesn't crack. So anyway, so we're going to continue here, and I already took this side off, obviously. So I kept this one for pattern. So I'll show you what I did with the pattern. It's very simple to take off. When I take the other side off, do the other side, I'll show you how to drill off, and then you can do all the rest. So anyway, so I'll just move around here, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so it is recording already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did this. I marked the edge where I want to cut it off because it's a little bit out to lunch there. So what I did was I marked it, and I also marked with a marker where the rubber strip goes, weather sealer. So then I just lifted this piece of polycarbonate, put it underneath. Let me just move this down a little bit. Put it underneath. Brought it flush here, and I just put a couple of little clamps on it, spring clamps to hold it in place. Then I took my marker and I marked around here where there's a cutout and where the holes go. You got to have holes for the hinges and then holes for the rivets, and yeah, so then I just marked everything. I didn't drill right through. I'll wait until I get it cut out, then I'll drill everything right through, and then we'll go from there. Rivets here, and then these bolts here that go through the clamps. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivets, and then we have the hinges here that we're going to have to take off because it sandwiches the plexiglass. So this is just plexiglass, and you see how it's cracked here, and then it's also cracked here almost all the way across. So we'll show you how to do that, and then we'll show you how to put a new one on. Okay, so we're going to start with the clamp. Okay, 1. 2. Okay, so we only have 3 of those. Pull them out. Okay, so we're going to take off the hinges. We want to make sure we mark the hinges, which way is up, and top and bottom. Got 2 5/16 bolts here in each hinge. By the way, I did make these hinges from scratch. They're made to pull the doors off. They just lift up the doors. Okay. So we're going to mark a T on here, and an up arrow. Okay, the bottom one. Okay, mark that one too, with a B, and an arrow up. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is drill these rivets. And we've got to get the right drill bit. Okay, so now I'm going to finish drilling out the holes. Now these ones on the straight side are for the rivets, except for these ones here, and these are for the hinges. So I'm going to just make sure they're drilled through. Drill them a little bigger. They're 3/16 rivets. And I did there. Okay, so drill them all a little bit bigger so there's no pressure on the side of them. So I'm gonna drill these ones to 5/16. Now this is for the clamps. That hold it onto the back side. Drill them to 5/16. Those are 1/4 inch bolts. Carefully drill them. We got one more here. Okay. Now the hinge holes, I'm going to drill the 3/8 because they're 5/16 bolts. So we'll drill them to 3/8. Okay, 1, 2, so there's 4 of them. Okay, so now, so this is inside and this is outside. So I've got sort of a guide here where the weather stripping goes. So I'll get the, pull this off here. Oh, actually I'm going to cut them off. You just got to take some of the plastic off the edges. Okay, so now I pulled the protective cover off of this inside. Okay, and I'm going to put this foam tape to seal it. Seals it against the roll bar. Now this is, I believe it's 3/8 by 1/2 inch wide. So we're going to just put this on here. It's going to actually has a sticky side. So I'm just going to put it on. This is where the line that I put on. It's on the other side, actually. So when I pull the protective cover off, it'll be on. The marks will be on that. So then I won't have to clean it off the plexiglass. Sorry, not plexiglass, polycarbonate, technically. Okay, so I'm just going to follow that along. And I did mark here where it ends. I can cut that off. So it ends right there where the mark is. Stick it down there. Okay, now we're going to go and check it. Okay, so we're going to start, I'm going to put the hinges on. I've marked them top and which way they go. And I'm going to just put them in loosely. The bolts go in from the back side. Makes it smoother, gives it a smoother look. Okay. There's the top one and the bottom one. I'm just going to put a little bit of anti-seize, silver anti-seize on it, on the bolts, just so they screw in nice. I always use anti-seize on self-locking nuts, because self-locking nylon can mess up your thread, especially in stainless steel. Okay, now I'm going to reach around. There. Bottom one in. Okay, so my stuff lines up pretty much. Gonna have to re-drill this one here, so I'll just get my drill. Okay. So that's what we're going to do first. Okay, so now I got my handy dandy popper there. Okay, and I have large head popper rivets, 3/16, and I made these little washers here to go underneath the heads so it doesn't push directly on the plastic. So I'm going to start. Pop rivet these on. Shove them all in here. I think there's 5, 3, 4, 5 rivets. I bought a whole bag at the supply store, the Bold House, and or Fastenal, I guess it was. And just go. If you want to know more about the Enclosure, my first video, a few years ago actually now, was on building the enclosure, so. Go back and have a look. That was just an overview of everything. Tried to give you okay, one more. Okay. Okay, so these are stainless steel 1/4 inch course bolts. I got them from my marine dealer, local marine dealer. I cut it off about 3/4 of an inch because they're really long. I don't want them to stick out too far. This is just a flat washer, a fender washer, and then a rubber, which is part of another marine dealer stuff that's I got. Actually goes on the trolling motor on the front, and it's a spacer and a cushion. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to sandwich that plastic polycarbonate between them. Then I'm going to shove this through the clamp and then put a washer and a lock nut on there. So I'm just going to try and get my hand in there. Okay, I already have a hole drilled. Okay, so that goes through. Okay, and then a little lock washer and a self-locking nut. I already put a little bit of anti-seize on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all on first. And then I will tighten them up. I have to drill a couple holes yet for the extra clamps that I'm going to put in. So I'll get them all started first. Okay, so I've got the 3 on now. So I'm going to drill a hole for this other one. That's a 5/16 hole because they're 1/4 inch bolts. Just gonna kind of move that one around. I want to bring it in a little bit. Okay. Of course, the plastic has a bit of static in it. So, okay. So now I got 2 more to do here. Okay. So now I'm going to just tighten them up very slowly. 7/16 on the inside. And it's number 2 Phillips. dug them up. The newer clamps are harder to put on because they haven't been bent around the bar yet. But I'm just going to check on the other side. Actually pretty good. A little bit of a... it's sealed all the way up to here. So I'm going to just give it a little more, just a snug. You don't want it too tight, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on that polycarbonate. You know it is tough. Pretty solid. Okay, so next I'm going to just tighten up my hinges. And the bottom ones. Okay, I'm just going to put the door on, back here. The hinges are just pin hinges. I made them so that I can pop the doors off. So one pin is a little bit longer than the other. Just going to line them up. There we go. Wait. And there we go. Okay, so you can see I've got them and the cutouts here for the bolts, the rivets, and the foam seals it along. The foam will conform to the clamps here, so may have to put another one on here. So I extended it a little bit instead of cutting it right off. So I might just drill a hole here and put another rivet in there. So, but fits really good.